They told you aging meant decline, but they were wrong. They said your best years were behind you. That energy, intimacy, and desire slowly fade after 60, like a light dimming. But I'm here to tell you the truth. That is a myth. You're not breaking down, you're breaking free. Free from noise, pressure, and chasing things that never mattered. And now, for maybe the first time, you have the chance to truly live well. If you're over 60, you've already beaten the odds. You've faced life head-on. You've built careers, families, and memories. You've earned wisdom, resilience, and the right to live well on your terms. My name is Dr. Jennifer. I've spent over 25 years helping men navigate aging with strength, dignity, and clarity. I've worked with thousands of seniors, men just like you, who wanted to feel strong again. Who wanted energy, intimacy, and confidence, not just in the bedroom, but in life. And they got it. Not with gimmicks. Not with shame. But by learning the truth. So today, we're going to talk openly and respectfully about something that most people avoid, masturbation after 60. More specifically, the common mistakes that can quietly sabotage your health, your energy, even your hormones, without you realizing it. And more importantly, we'll talk about what to do instead. Like how 4 surprising fruits can actually restore blood flow, support testosterone, and improve intimacy, naturally. I'll explain why frequency matters more than you think, how to protect your prostate, and why many older men are unintentionally sabotaging their health by how they approach solo pleasure. You might be struggling right now. Maybe you've lost that fire you used to have. Maybe you're tired more often, feeling alone, or noticing that your confidence just isn't what it used to be. You are not alone. But here's what I want you to remember. Your body is still listening. There are natural, accessible solutions that can help, even in your 70s, 80s, and beyond. The potential is still there. You just need the right information. Before we dive deeper, take 1 second to subscribe to this channel. Hit the bell so you never miss an update, and if this video helps you in any way, leave a 1 in the comments. If it didn't quite speak to you, leave a 0. I read every response, and your feedback shapes everything we create here. And tell me, what country are you watching from? I love knowing how far this message is reaching. You matter, your health matters, and it's time we talk about it with truth, care, and respect. Let's begin. Let's start with something that should be obvious, but often gets lost in the noise of our culture. Sexuality does not expire with age. If you're over 60, you haven't outgrown intimacy, you've earned a deeper relationship with it. And that includes solo intimacy. Yes, masturbation. It's natural. It's healthy. And it's part of being human, no matter your age. In fact, solo intimacy can be an important tool for physical, emotional, and even cognitive health as we age. But the key is doing it in a way that supports your changing body instead of working against it. Let me be clear, there's no shame here. I've sat with thousands of older men, veterans, widowers, retired engineers, grandfathers, and they all ask the same questions in quiet voices. Is this normal? Should I still be doing this? Could this be hurting me? So let's answer those questions. First, yes, masturbation is normal after 60. In fact, healthy solo intimacy can help reduce stress, support better sleep, and even balance your hormones. It helps release dopamine and oxytocin, chemicals that boost mood and create a sense of well-being. And for men, it can gently stimulate testosterone production, maintain healthy blood flow, and keep the prostate active and healthy. But here's the catch. Your body at 65 isn't the same as it was at 35. The engine still runs, but the fuel, the spark, and the maintenance schedule all change. In your 30s, you might have been operating on raw drive, more frequent release, no thought to recovery, and zero concern about blood pressure, sleep quality, or prostate health. But now in your 60s, 70s, and beyond, those old habits may not serve you anymore. In fact, they might be silently draining your energy, your focus, and even your hormone levels. Let's talk a little science, but I promise to keep it light. After 60, most men experience a natural decline in testosterone, usually around 1% per year. That doesn't mean you're broken. It just means your body is shifting. Add in things like high blood pressure, medication side effects, and decreased circulation, and suddenly, how and when you engage in solo intimacy really starts to matter. Your prostate also plays a major role. It's a small gland, but it's deeply involved in sexual function. Overstimulation, frequent strain without recovery, or ignoring discomfort can lead to inflammation, or in some cases, contribute to larger prostate issues down the line. But here's the empowering part. When you understand your body, you can support it. You can adjust your routine in ways that actually restore energy instead of draining it. You can protect your hormones, enhance circulation, and improve the quality, not just the frequency, of your intimacy. This conversation matters because you deserve the truth. You deserve to feel respected, informed, and empowered to make choices that support your health, not just your survival, but your vitality. So as we move forward, I want you to keep one thing in mind. Your body is not failing you. It's simply asking you to treat it with more wisdom than you did when you were younger. And believe me, when you listen, it rewards you. Let's move on to the most common mistakes I see older men make when it comes to solo intimacy and how to avoid them. Let's talk about the 5 most common mistakes I see men over 60 make when it comes to solo intimacy. These mistakes are rarely talked about, but they matter. Because what worked for you in your younger years may now be quietly working against you. Let's start with the first and probably most overlooked one. Mistake 1. Masturbating frequently that's out of sync with your body in your 30s or 40s. Your body was running on testosterone and momentum. You could go multiple times a week or even a day and bounce back like nothing happened. But after 60, your body operates differently. Your recovery window is longer. Your hormonal shifts are real. And when you push your body to perform on an old schedule, you can start to feel it. Overstimulation, too frequent or too intense, can lead to energy depletion. I've had men tell me they feel foggy, drained, or even irritable after solo sessions. They don't realize it's connected. And when you ignore your body's natural rhythm, you may also experience insomnia. That's because ejaculation triggers a short-term dopamine release, but it can also temporarily lower testosterone and increase prolactin, which may leave you feeling mentally flat or overstimulated at night. Now let me be clear. This doesn't mean you have to give up solo pleasure. Not at all. But it does mean you should listen to your body's rhythm. Ask yourself, am I doing this out of boredom, stress, habit, or true desire? If it's true desire, you'll notice that you feel refreshed afterward. If it's just habit or compulsion, you may feel drained or even agitated. One practical tip? Try taking a few days off and journaling how you feel. More energy? Better sleep? More focus? That's your body talking. Mistake 2, relying too much on porn. Now this one is a big one. And not for the reason most people think. I'm not here to lecture you or tell you porn is bad, but I am here to explain what it does to the brain and why relying too heavily on it after 60 can cause more harm than you might realize. Porn creates instant dopamine spikes. The brain loves novelty, and online content offers an endless stream of it. But over time, this can lead to something called dopamine desensitization, which means your brain needs more stimulation to get the same response. In practical terms, you might notice it's harder to get aroused by real life, or it takes longer, or things that used to feel intimate now feel flat. And the worst part? Many men mistake this for aging, when in fact, it's dopamine fatigue. It's not your body, it's your brain chemistry adapting to artificial overstimulation. Here's what I recommend. Try shifting away from screen-based arousal, at least some of the time. Instead, use mental imagery. Think of a real moment. Maybe with your partner, maybe from your younger years, that made you feel deeply connected. Memory recall engages the emotional centers of the brain, not just the visual ones. It's gentler. It's more natural. And it's actually more in sync with how male arousal worked before the internet. You can also practice mindfulness-based arousal. That just means being present in your body, feeling, breathing, noticing. Not rushing. Not fantasizing about things you've never experienced. Just being there with yourself. At first, this may feel less exciting, but over time, it often becomes more fulfilling. Because you're resensitizing your brain to what's real, not chasing what's extreme. Let me pause here for a moment and remind you, these aren't judgments. They're insights. And the goal here isn't restriction, it's restoration. When you bring your habits back in sync with your biology, everything begins to improve. Energy, sleep, mood, confidence, even your ability to connect with others. Mistake 3. Ignoring physical changes, prostate, sensitivity, circulation. Here's something I've seen countless times in my practice. A man in his 60s or 70s comes in and says, "Doc, things just don't feel the same down there." And he's right, but that doesn't mean something is wrong. It just means something is different. Your body is evolving. And when it comes to solo intimacy, understanding these physical changes is the key to staying safe, comfortable, and satisfied. Let's start with the prostate. As men age, the prostate naturally enlarges. For some, that's mild. For others, it can lead to frequent urination, difficulty starting or stopping, or even discomfort during climax. These changes aren't necessarily dangerous, but they're a signal. If you're feeling pressure, pain, or any disruption in flow, it's worth getting it checked out. Sensitivity also shifts. Some men notice decreased sensation. Others experience the opposite, more sensitivity and less control. Neither is a failure. It's just the nervous system adapting with age, medication, or hormonal changes. And then there's circulation. Erections depend heavily on blood flow. And as we get older, blood vessels become less flexible. Add in things like blood pressure meds, cholesterol issues, or even a sedentary lifestyle, and the result is often reduced firmness or stamina. So what can you do? You adjust. You listen. You work with your body, not against it. Start with technique. Gentle stimulation often works better than intensity. Focus on slower buildup instead of rushing to finish. Use the right lubricant, one that's non-irritating, ideally water-based or silicone-based, if you have sensitive skin. Many men forget this, but dryness or friction can cause micro-tears or discomfort, especially with thinner skin in older age. And don't be afraid to change positions. What was comfortable at 40 might feel awkward now. Explore reclined or side-lying positions that ease pressure on joints, hips, and lower back. Comfort is not a luxury, it's essential for healthy sexual expression. The bottom line is this: pay attention to how your body feels. If something's off, don't push through it. Adjust, support it, and give yourself grace. Mistake 4. Not tuning in to emotional needs. Let's shift gears for a moment, because intimacy isn't just physical. One of the biggest mistakes I see in older men is this: focusing only on sensation and ignoring emotion. Here's the truth no one talks about. Many older men turn to masturbation not out of desire, but out of loneliness. And while solo intimacy can bring relief, if it's being used to mask sadness, isolation, or a lack of connection, it may leave you feeling worse afterward, not better. That's because true satisfaction comes from more than just release. It comes from meaning, from connection, from being seen and known. And that starts with tuning in to your emotional needs. Ask yourself, what am I really needing right now? Is it touch? Is it comfort? Is it affirmation? Because sometimes the most healing thing isn't stimulation, it's presence. Now don't worry, I'm not going to send you off to a meditation retreat. Let me give you a few simple tools that work. 1. Journaling. Write down how you feel before and after self-pleasure. Are you using it to cope? To soothe? To avoid something? No judgment, just awareness. 2. Therapy or support groups. Even just one conversation with the right person can help release emotional tension that's been stored in your body for decades. You'd be surprised how often this leads to better intimacy too. 3. Meaningful touch. That could mean self-massage, holding your own hand, or even hugging a loved one. Physical connection isn't just about sex. It's about contact. And it nourishes your nervous system in ways that go far beyond the physical. When you meet your emotional needs, solo intimacy becomes something deeper, something whole, something truly healing. And that's when the real change begins, not just in your health, but in how you feel about yourself. Mistake 5. Skipping recovery and self-care after intimacy. This one may surprise you, but it's often the final missing piece and one that makes a huge difference in how you feel throughout the day or even the entire week. Most men don't realize that solo intimacy, especially after 60, places real demands on your body. Yes, it can be relaxing and pleasurable, but it also triggers a shift in hormones, energy, and hydration levels that your body needs time to recover from. If you ignore that recovery window, you may notice some subtle but frustrating effects. Feeling tired or heavy afterward, irritability or moodiness, a sudden drop in motivation, trouble focusing, even dehydration or muscle tension. Here's why that happens. After orgasm, your body naturally releases prolactin, a hormone that creates a sense of satisfaction, but also temporarily lowers dopamine and testosterone. That's why some men feel mentally flat or even mildly down for a few hours afterward. Combine that with fluid loss. Yes, ejaculation uses up minerals and hydration. And the result can be what I call post-intimacy fatigue. You're not lazy. You're not off. Your body just needs support. So here's how to give it that, gently and naturally. 1. Breathe first. Move slow. Right after release, resist the urge to jump up or fall asleep right away. Take 2 or 3 minutes to simply breathe, slowly and deeply. Let your nervous system settle. This simple act helps stabilize your heart rate, regulate blood pressure, and signal to your body that it's safe to rest. 2. Try light stretching. Just a few gentle movements, neck rolls, shoulder shrugs, hip circles. Nothing fancy. This keeps circulation flowing and prevents stiffness. Many older men notice fewer aches and better sleep when they do this consistently after intimacy. 3. Rehydrate with intention. Drink a glass of filtered water. Even better? Add a pinch of sea salt or a squeeze of lemon. This replenishes electrolytes and helps stabilize energy. It's a small act with a big impact. 4. Herbal teas that support hormones and recovery. Consider sipping on an herbal tea within an hour after solo intimacy. My favorites? Ashwagandha tea supports testosterone and calms the nervous system. Chamomile or lemon balm soothes the body and prepares it for sleep. Ginger or nettle tea gently supports circulation and prostate health. These aren't magic pills, but they create a ritual, a sense of care. And that's the point. You see, after 60, it's not just about the experience itself. It's about how you recover from that experience. Think of it like a workout. Would you go for a long walk and skip water, stretching, and rest? Probably not. So why treat intimacy, something that moves blood, muscles, and hormones, any differently? Your body is still strong, but it asks for more awareness, more respect. And when you give it that, it gives back. Now that we've covered the 5 biggest mistakes, let's shift into the part of the video I know many of you have been waiting for. The positive side. Simple, natural steps you can take right now to enhance pleasure, improve health, and protect intimacy for years to come. We're going to start with 4 surprising fruits that actually help restore circulation and testosterone. Yes, fruits, but not the ones you might think. Stay with me, this next part is a game changer. Building a healthier solo intimacy routine. So now that we've explored the most common mistakes, let's focus on what you can do. Because this is where the power shifts back to you. You don't have to give up intimacy after 60. You just need to build a new rhythm, one that works with your changing body, instead of trying to force it to perform like it did decades ago. Let's start with the foundation. 1. Listen to your body's cues. This might sound simple, but it's often the most overlooked step. If your body feels tired, stressed, or emotionally flat, pushing for release can actually make you feel worse. On the other hand, when your body feels relaxed, grounded, and connected, that's usually a sign that intimacy will feel restorative instead of depleting. So I want you to get in the habit of asking, am I doing this from desire or from habit? Your body always tells the truth. You just have to slow down enough to hear it. 2. Set a healthy rhythm. Not a rigid schedule. Forget the old mindset of once a day or 3 times a week. That's not how a wise, aging body operates. Instead, aim for a rhythm that matches your energy. That might mean once or twice a week, or more or less. Let the quality of your experience matter more than the quantity. If you notice you feel drained or edgy after intimacy, give yourself more time in between. If you feel recharged and grounded, you're likely in sync. Intimacy is not a test to pass. It's a rhythm to dance with. 3. Create a calm, private, respectful environment. This is where many men rush. And when you rush, the body doesn't fully relax and arousal becomes mechanical instead of meaningful. Start by creating privacy, a room with a locked door, soft lighting, maybe calming music. No bright screens. No background TV. No distractions. Your brain and body respond to atmosphere. When you treat intimacy like a sacred space, not just a quick release, everything changes. Your heart rate slows. Your breath deepens. Your nervous system opens up. This isn't indulgent. It's essential. Use breath and pelvic floor awareness. Let's talk breathing. Most men hold their breath during arousal. That builds tension, not pleasure. So try this instead. Inhale deeply through your nose for 4 counts. Hold for 2. Exhale slowly through your mouth for 6. Repeat this for a few minutes before and during solo intimacy. This slows your heart rate and increases blood flow to the pelvis, which supports firmer erections and more full-body pleasure. Now, pelvic floor awareness. This is where light Kegel exercises come in. These are gentle contractions of the muscles you use to stop urinating midstream. Doing a few short squeezes a day, just 3 sets of 10 seconds each, can improve bladder control, prostate support, and even orgasm strength. Don't overdo it. Just a few conscious squeezes. That's enough to start building tone and awareness. 5. Use safe, skin-friendly lubricants and practice good hygiene. As skin gets thinner with age, so does your natural lubrication. That's totally normal. But skipping lube or using the wrong kind can lead to irritation, microtears, or even infections. So choose a clean, skin-friendly lubricant, ideally one that's water-based and free of alcohol, fragrance, or parabens. Brands like Aloe Cadabra, Sliquid, or even coconut oil, if you're not prone to yeast issues, can work well. Afterward, gently cleanse the area with warm water and a mild, unscented soap. This helps prevent irritation and keeps everything in balance. Remember, self-care is not vanity. It's dignity. 6. Consider natural supplements for prostate and hormone support now. This isn't a one-size-fits-all list. But these are some of the most widely studied natural supplements I recommend to men over 60 for sexual and hormonal health. Saw Palmetto supports prostate size and reduces urinary issues. Zinc, essential for testosterone production and sperm health. Many men are deficient and don't know it. Ashwagandha, an adaptogenic herb that supports stress resilience, testosterone levels, and even energy during intimacy. L-citrulline or beetroot. These support nitric oxide, which boosts circulation and can help with erection quality. Always check with your doctor before adding supplements, especially if you're on medication. But for many men, these simple additions can gently support the body in ways that are powerful over time. Bottom line? When you treat your body with care and respect, when you slow down, listen, and support it, you don't lose intimacy. You rediscover it. You step into a version of yourself that's more connected, more confident, and more in tune with what really matters. This next part is one of my favorites, so don't go anywhere. Intimacy beyond the physical now. Let's take this conversation to a deeper level. Because for many men I've worked with over the years, the greatest shift in intimacy after 60 isn't physical, it's emotional. It's even spiritual. I want you to consider something. What if intimacy with yourself was also a way to reconnect with your own soul? Not just a moment of release, but a moment of remembrance. You've lived a life. You've carried people. You've endured pain. You've built things, loved people, lost people. And yet, here you are. Still alive. Still learning. Still capable of feeling. That deserves reverence. Touch, affection, and attention. Many men grew up in a world where affection wasn't encouraged, where being strong meant being stoic. But I'll tell you this, after working with thousands of men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, the need for touch never goes away. It just gets quieter. And we forget how to listen. So when you engage in solo intimacy, think beyond stimulation. Think about affection. Think about attention. Can you bring your hands to your chest, your arms, your face, not with criticism, but with care? Even placing your hand over your heart for a few moments every morning can shift your entire nervous system. This is self-care on the deepest level. Legacy, love, and feeling alive in your own skin. Here's what I believe. You're not just maintaining sexual health. You're reclaiming a part of yourself that the world told you to hide. Intimacy is a celebration of being alive. And whether you're partnered or solo, whether you're sexually active or simply reconnecting with your own body, what you're doing matters. Your legacy isn't just in what you've built for others. It's also in how deeply you've allowed yourself to feel, to care for your body, to honor your heart, to stay awake to your life. And if no one's told you this recently, let me be the one to say it. You're worthy of pleasure, of comfort, of connection, at every age. Let that truth live in your skin. When to talk to a doctor now. Before we close, let's talk about something important, when to reach out for medical support. I've had men sit across from me, clearly struggling, but saying things like, "I didn't want to bring this up." Document. It's embarrassing. Let me tell you something as clearly as I can. It's not embarrassing. It's empowering. Sexual health is just health. And your body is communicating with you. So, if you're experiencing any of these symptoms, trouble getting or keeping an erection, low energy, low mood, or loss of desire, frequent urination, difficulty starting or stopping, or pain during ejaculation, noticeable changes in sensitivity or comfort, please don't ignore them. These could be signs of hormone imbalances, circulation issues, prostate changes, or even side effects of common medications. And most importantly, they're treatable. Modern medicine and natural therapies can work together. I've helped men in their 70s regain confidence, intimacy, and joy because they took that first step and spoke up. And here's a little secret. Your doctor actually wants you to bring it up. We'd rather hear the awkward question early than deal with preventable complications later. Trust me, we've heard it all. You won't shock us. But you might help yourself. So give yourself permission to speak openly. You're not broken. You're human. And your sexual well-being is part of your whole well-being. Coming up next is our closing segment, where I'll wrap everything together with a message of encouragement, strength, and dignity. If you've made it this far, stay with me. This next part is from the heart. If you've stayed with me until now, I want to say something directly from one man to another. This stage of life isn't about shrinking back. It's not about fading quietly into the background. It's about leaning in to your health, your pleasure, your wisdom, and your worth. You are not past your prime. You're in a new chapter, and it deserves your full attention. You've earned the right to feel good in your skin. You've earned the right to experience connection, peace, and yes, pleasure. That's not just biology, it's your birthright. And everything we talked about today, better rhythm, smarter choices, emotional connection, self-care, isn't just about sex. It's about feeling at home in your body. It's about walking through life with your head high, your heart open, and your spirit strong. I'd love to hear from you. In the comments below, tell me, was this helpful to you? Type 1 for yes or 0 for not really. And let me know what country you're watching from, because I know this message is reaching good men all over the world. And if this video spoke to you or reminded you that you deserve to feel alive, please do 3 things. 1. Give this video a like, it helps more people see it. 2. Hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. 3. Share it with a friend who might need this message. Sometimes just knowing you're not alone can be the beginning of healing. I've got more videos coming your way about men's health, intimacy, hormones, energy, and how to age forward, not backward. So stick with me. There's so much more to explore. Until next time, I'm Dr. Jennifer, reminding you, you're not too old. You're not too late. And your best years may be right in front of you. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.